is the way. This is the way. This is the way.
At a Renaissance fair in 1985, the Minutemen arrived to do their usual cleaning of the timeline, but instead ended up getting caught in a trap set by the hooded Loki variant, who uses telepathy to take control of one of the hunters, causing her to fight one of her own men before getting dragged away through a temporal doorway. Meanwhile, Loki from the main timeline is learning about how things work at the TVA. It turns out that there have been many Loki variants who have disrupted the timeline over the years, but after investigating the scene, Loki plays a game of who knows best, making up a bunch of crap in order to boost his value and get a meeting with the timekeepers. But Agent Mobius isn't fooled and orders the area to be corrected with the reset charge before the changes turn into a branching timeline. Back at headquarters, Agent Mobius still has to argue the use of Loki because Judge Renslayer believes he's a waste of time. Apparently, the timekeepers have been monitoring the case very closely, even though Agent Mobius has yet to see them. Meanwhile, Loki spends his time trying to remain useful and get a second chance, so Agent Mobius gives him paperwork and case files to read about the current variant that's giving him trouble. Loki also tries to get documents that are related to the creation of the TVA, but those are classified. Instead, he gets a file of himself, and he takes a moment going over the destruction of Asgard, which helped him realize that a time variant can do whatever he wanted in a place that's about to be destroyed, because no matter how much trouble you made disrupting the timeline, any branches would be eliminated once the area has been devastated. A variant could be hiding in apocalyptic events in order to remain unnoticed by the TVA. So to make a point, he convinces Mobius to take them to Pompeii, where his disruption has no effect on the timeline thanks to the destructive volcano approaching. They then take time to discuss free will and the authority of the timekeepers, who are supposedly very busy untangling all the timelines in existence, while the TVA deals with the small day-to-day stuff. It seems like everyone there was created by the timekeepers for this, and Mobius is just happy to have a purpose, so they get to work researching areas that are about to be destroyed to see where the Loki variant may be hiding out. They narrowed it down to an Alabama hurricane in 2050. Outside of the TVA, magic still works, so Hunter B-15 isn't going to let him out of her sights. It looks like variant Loki is using magic to communicate through people. She can transfer from one person to another using touch. Loki tries convincing the variant that he's still out for himself. He explains that he's working with them now, but he's planning to overthrow the timekeepers, and it'll be much easier with a little bit of help from another version of himself. The others locate Hunter C-20 from among the refugees in the storm who were doomed to die, but she was forced to give up information about the whereabouts of the timekeepers, and this variant has been stealing a lot of TVA reset charges and temporal doorway tech. Meanwhile, after debate during a fight, the Loki variant reveals herself, who like him is planning something much larger than a simple trick. She's the main Loki protagonist of her timeline, and is just as mischievous, using the doorway tech to scatter the time reset charges across multiple locations in the main timeline, disrupting the flow of time in past, present, and future events, and causing the TVA to shift into an emergency response. And with our Loki's objective seeming as shady as usual, he steps in right after her to escape before the TVA can reach them. Thanks a lot for watching in Movie Lingo, and hit that subscribe button for more to come.